Welcome
to New Entry Wrestling Podcast, baby.
Hey, Ian. Hey, listeners out there. Before we start, I'll let you know to check out our Teespring store for some cool merch. Check out our Pro Wrestling Tee store as well for clothes and merch as well. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at New Entry Wrestling Pod. Follow us on Twitter at New Entry WP. Also, check us out on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and Radio Public. If you haven't already, please go over to our YouTube channel, our page at New Entry Wrestling Podcast. Help support by subscribing, liking, and sharing. Hey, Ian.
What up, boy?
What's up? What's up?
I miss
Interesting
you, man.
stories in wrestling, man. Yeah, man.
Facts, man. It took you a long time. I was like, oh, we gotta record. And you're like, nah, man, I can't.
Yeah.
I gotta do it on the weekend. Hey, you shave your mustache?
Yep, I shaved, got a haircut, and shaved my mustache. I look fresh.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Looking good, man.
Thank you, man.
So CM Punk.
Yeah.
Where
do we start? Right.
Where do we start? To be honest, it's like, so rumor has it, and this is all the crazy part. This is all rumors, so we don't fully know the full story because everybody's telling their part of the story.
Yeah.
The big one that keeps repeating itself. Nobody's saying, "Hey, this is the rumor. This person said who. This person." The big rumor that we keep hearing is that the one I keep hearing, I should say, is that Punk and Ace Steel were in the locker room. The Young Bucks and Kenny Omega walked in to, their locker room and started talking. And next thing you know, CM Punk threw the first punch at either Nick or Matt Jackson. But the one I keep hearing a lot is Matt Jackson's the one who got punched first. And Nick is the one who went after CM Punk for punching his brother, because that's his brother. And Kenny Omega and Steel were getting into it. And then later on, Ace Steel bites CM Punk, or it's not CM Punk, bites Kenny Omega. And yeah, and everybody was just going, people heard, there was like, you know how you could hear a fight is going on.
Yeah.
So it's like people hear that and then they go in the locker room, check it out, what's going on. Everybody's trying to break everybody up. And yeah, so that's the rumor I keep hearing. But obviously there's multiple rumors saying like there was other people that were involved in that fight actually fighting, not trying to break up the fight.
Oh, wow.
So
yeah, so I noticed that like the people they suspended, I'm like, wait, why did these people get suspended? What they do?
So the people who got suspended for sure on the spot, no question about it, is Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, Christopher Daniels for some reason, Cutler, and
Brandon Cutler, Michael Nakazawa,
and then
Michael Nakazawa. Yeah, I think not Michael Nakazawa and Pat Buck.
Yeah, two people I never heard of.
Well, Pat Buck worked for WWE. He's like, oh, I'm gonna retire and I'm gonna take some time with my family. And 2 weeks later, he shows up in AEW
as a wrestler.
No, as a backstage producer or something.
Oh, I don't recall that part.
Yeah, and then CM Punk and Ace Steel got suspended too, right?
They got suspended, I think, the day on Wednesday, right?
Yeah, they got suspended on Dynamite.
Yeah, because they were gonna have a meeting, and Ace Steel got suspended. CM Punk got suspended and got stripped from the title after he just won it at All Out. So besides CM Punk being suspended, rumor has it that he got suspended for 6 and then he got injured at All Out, which is gonna take him out for 8 months.
Yeah.
So the suspension is 6 months, and then plus another 2 months because he's gonna, he's still gonna be out. And by the maybe another month or two, because depending on rehab, he may come back in 10 months, or maybe he'll come back at 8.
Wow.
So nobody, do you ever heard why it happened in the first place? Like, because I
Well,
understand CM Punk did a shoot on them.
yeah, it's like you know what's so funny though? I realize this. This is the first time I've watched a full segment of AEW ever. Like that media interview that he did. It's the
Oh,
first time I
okay.
watched more than 5 minutes of AEW. I mean, I like the wrestlers, but I don't for some reason I can't get into the show. But this is the first time I've ever been into like something he said or like
Yeah.
anything AEW related. Like I could watch a little highlight, like a jump or whatever, for like 5 minutes or a little promo, but it's the first time I've actually seen something like that. So for me, yeah, it looks like he was talking about some reporter asked him like a question, and then CM Punk asked him, "Oh, so you still do?" Because he knew the guy, like, "Oh, you still do that thing?" Like, "Oh yeah, I do. I do. I used to do the thing, comedy with Scott and Colton, which is
Mm-hmm.
Cocabana,
Right.
which is former friend turned like rival of CM Punk. And that's
He
where it all
wouldn't, but he
escalated.
wouldn't say that's his rival because
He doesn't acknowledge him
he
anymore,
doesn't acknowledge it. Yeah, exactly. He doesn't
but
care for him no more.
but you know he hates a guy when he just keeps going about it. Like if you don't like somebody or you don't want to acknowledge somebody, you kind of okay, 2 minutes and you like move on. It just kept going, and then he talked about Adam Page. Then he talked about Cole. He talked about Omega and the Young Bucks when he couldn't manage a target, and then he went back to Cocabana. He kept talking about it, so I kind of like he kind of okay, I
And
don't
then
care.
and then you know what? He brought me along. He
Yeah.
took a shot at me saying that I share a bank account with my mom. First of all, how did he know that? How does he know I'm sharing a bank account with my mama, man?
No, no, no,
Disrespect.
no, no. That bank account. He's saying that Cocabana has a bank account with his mom.
I know it was a joke. You didn't get
Ah,
that
okay.
part.
Sorry. Sorry.
You botched my
Sorry.
joke, bro.
Sorry, man.
No, it's
But
cool. It's not true though. It's not true.
yeah,
No, I'm
no,
just...
no. Like, oh damn. No wonder. You know, I gotta call my mom for to buy
I was like,
to
yeah,
buy.
man, why you? I told my mama, I was like, why you tell CM Punk we share a bank account, man? What's going on?
Yeah, so that escalated into because then also because Hangman sh did a shoot on CM Punk like 3 months ago though. 3 months ago, not like
But
the
you
week
know what was
before.
funny? You know what's funny about that? Nobody
Yeah.
mentioned that it was a shoot. Nobody
Mm,
mentioned it leading up to Double or Nothing. Nobody mentioned, oh man, that was a shoot.
yeah.
The shoot was mentioned, I think, once Punk came back, right? Because
Yeah, like the week,
that's
like
yeah,
last week or something, 2 weeks ago. Not even like 2 months ago, 3 months ago, when it happened.
yeah, like yeah. So whenever CM Punk came back, that's when I found out. Because he cut a promo, he cut a shoot on Hangman Page, and I was just like, "What's going on? Why are you taking a shot at him?" And then
Yeah,
it had something to do with Double or Nothing, and I was just like, "Why did you not say anything then? I don't really care for it now." Because now
yeah,
John Moxley's your champion, so but it's like okay, whatever. And I'm thinking, oh, and then once they announce it's gonna be John Moxley and Punk for the title, the week was it a week after or 2 weeks after, whatever it was going to be on Dynamite.
yeah,
And I'm like, oh, it's going to be a triple threat match at All Out. It's going to be Punk, Moxley, and Page.
yeah. You remember
That's
saying? I remember you saying that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's why he mentioned Hangman Page. So I was
yeah,
like, okay, that makes sense. But no,
yeah.
that's not what we got. It was like he took a shot at him, and it was just like, oh, okay, but
That's
why?
that's why I like I can never get into AEW because it feels like they do stuff and then they space it out a month, two, like you say, 3 months later they like have a shoot all of a sudden. Like why, like you said, now why not back like right after that shoot the first time? He waited until like the
He
last
came
2 weeks
back,
ago.
yeah.
Like that's why I was like, no one could ever really get into it because I'm like you say, you like I don't care anymore. That happened 3 months ago at Double or Nothing. Now at All Out, you're like talking about, you know what I mean? It's like kind of that's why I kind of like people like lose interest. Like, well, you could have done this like 2 months ago. It would have been, or it would have been hyped. And Hangman Page was ended up in a trios match, anyways, the World Trio whatever, the
Right.
trios championship match. So kind of like, okay, so what was the point of that then?
So it's Tony. Here's the thing: we're blaming the wrestlers, but the person we
Yeah,
have to blame is Tony Khan
yeah,
because Punk brought a Punk. Tony Khan brought Punk, right? Cool. Hangman Page. I don't know if he ever told Tony Khan, but Hangman Page said he didn't care for Punk showing up.
well,
He didn't
well,
really care. And then I Tony Khan, Punk winning the AEW at Double or Nothing was pointless. You had a baby face take the world title away from a baby face, and that baby face was just he wasn't even the next pay-per-view. He hasn't even got his rematch. He hasn't done anything. Um, and then
it's
he continues being a baby face, and then he joins. He doesn't join them, but he works with. He aligns himself with them. The Dark Order,
yeah.
and then
They're in a trios tournament,
but
and
he
then they go
was
to the
yeah
finals.
but he had their back. He was supporting
Yeah,
them, but he wasn't in the match. It was I think number 10. He got hurt,
yeah,
and that's why Adam Page got added to the match, which was cool and stuff like that. But at the same time, it was like I feel if you're gonna book Hangman Page versus Punk for the world title, cool. I would have done it at All Out. If he would have done it at All Out, there's a chance that everything that's been going on since the at Double or Nothing till
hmm
now probably wouldn't even happen if he would have said, you know what, I'm gonna book Page versus Punk at All Out Chicago. I feel like that will mean more. Plus, it gives Reign Page that a longer title reign,
hmm yeah,
and also then that way we could have had a rematch, Full Gear, get a rematch because the next pay per view because you don't want to see you can't. I mean, I'm surprised he didn't do it, but we didn't get a rematch from Punk and Hangman Page, and then you couldn't do it for the next pay per view because it was Forbidden Door.
yeah,
So it's like if he would have waited till all out, that would have been a bigger pop, and then it would have made sense, and then you could have possibly had the chance of Hangman Page turning heel or Punk turning heel. He could have cheated at all. Maybe not at all out, but if you would have done the rematch at Full Gear, that's when Punk could have turned heel. So,
yeah,
but because Tony Khan believe you can say whatever you want or believe whatever you want, but I personally think because Tony Khan, he couldn't wait to put the title on Punk, and that's why he did it at Double or Nothing. But if he would have waited, everything would have been chilled. Because Hangman
yeah,
Page said it himself, like I got to give a title to this guy.
yeah.
Why? I thought he was here to help us become the next
The,
level.
the help the younger talent. Yeah,
Right. But why
like
does
why is he the
he doesn't need it? Yeah,
champion?
he doesn't need a title.
Like that's what they said about like Jericho's a good first champion because then you're like okay you have credibility, and then you have Moxie, right?
But the thing is,
Didn't want it.
he Jericho was only champion, so people could be like, "Ooh, Jericho's champion. He's the first ever AEW champion. All eyes on him." Then he dropped the title to Moxley, so that way Chris Jericho could help out with the younger talent.
Yeah, and then
So
Omega, and then
and then
back.
yeah,
There's been hot potato ever since then, right? So after Omega?
I wouldn't say that.
No.
Because it was Jericho. Jericho dropped the title. He won it all out. He dropped the title to John Moxley of Revolution.
Mhm.
Moxley dropped the title to Kenny Omega when I think it was that winter special that the when Sting debut. It was a
Wait,
Dynamite episode, and then
yeah,
Omega was champion all the way to
he
what
got
was
injured
it?
to Page.
To Page was Full Gear, and then Adam Page dropped the belt to Punk, and then Punk
Got injured.
he vacated the title, right?
No, it went to interim. So he's still champion, and then they had an interim
Oh,
championship,
that's right, that's right. And then
and that's where Moxley
Moxley
won it.
Moxley won it, and then Moxley dropped basically won both titles, and then he dropped the belt to Punk, and then Punk vacated the title again.
Yeah, now
So
we're at, and that happened all the last three happened within like 2 months.
yeah,
Yeah, no,
and
even the third one, even the page, no,
I
yeah.
don't know what's gonna happen in the future of AEW, in the future of Punk, but Tony Khan, CM Punk is already a two-time AEW champion and has not had a title defense.
She only had the title for 5 days.
Yeah,
5 days, two reigns.
total, right?
Yeah, total 5 day reign for two. Yeah, 5 day reign total. So I think the first one was 1 day, and the second one was 4 days. So
I thought it was longer than that because when he
no,
first won it in Double or Nothing,
he dropped.
um,
He it went interim the next day because he got injured, and then
I thought it was a week later because he wrestled that Wednesday in the six-man tag, and that's where
Sunday.
he hurt his foot. And then the week later, that's when he released the title.
No, because I think he won it on a Sunday. He lost it on a Wednesday. He got injured on a Wednesday, and then that's when he dropped it. So it's 3 days, 4 days, and then he won it.
And
He
then he lost it that same night,
yeah.
basically.
Yeah, basically they dropped it the same. They stopped it at that same night. They didn't like or the next day. So it's yeah, it's confusing now. Like I think it's 3 days and 2 days. I think or 4 days,
So
1 day.
let me ask you, do you think Punk should have been fired?
Yes, I mean the
Why?
cracks were forming when Cody Rhodes left, but I think it's just like
You saw
any job.
his post on Twitter saying there's
No,
a reason why I left.
yeah. So I'm thinking like the thing is like Punk is the kind of person he is a big ego, right? Like
Right.
he doesn't get his way, he'll like make it
He
his way.
bitches about it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I'm thinking like I think it was just like a
Oh, hey, so I got the
combination.
report. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. So I got the report. Since Punk, since John Moxley was an Inter champion,
Mhm.
Punk's first title reign continued.
Okay.
So he was champion for 87 days. And that's when he officially lost the belt to John Moxley, and John Moxley being an official AEW champion.
Mhm.
And you know what's dumb about that is that because John Moxley was an Inter World Champion, they don't count that.
What the?
They don't count the days. So
Wow.
his actual reign is only 11 days.
Wow.
So
That's a travesty,
for
bro.
his second, yeah. So instead of being what is it, 70 days, they only count the 11 days when he won it in Cleveland. Um
Wow.
yeah, so um yeah, I hate all I'm gonna say is that I hate that the whole intern stuff that was stupid.
Yeah, it's dumb. I
Because
don't like
now the
that.
fact that I know that now, because could you imagine? It's like that's basically a probation. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like, hey, so we're gonna give you a world title, but we're not gonna count it. You're basically gonna be on probation with it.
So is Tony Storm a probate? She has no real title right now, right?
So she has no title reign,
I
basically.
don't know.
So
Yeah,
it's
that's
like, what's the
just
point? Why do I want this title then? And
yeah.
then Thunder Rosa didn't want to do the job to Tony Storm,
Yeah. So
and that apparently rumor has it that she faked injury, but rumor has it that she is really hurt, and that's why they were gonna do a fatal four-way match. So that way, not Tony Star, Thunder Rosa doesn't do so much in the match.
she doesn't take a pin
She doesn't
either.
take the pin either. It saves her, or there was a small chance she was gonna go over, but majority it was gonna be Tony Storm, but Tony Storm wasn't gonna take. She wasn't gonna pin Thunder Rosa,
Yeah.
and
Wow.
but Thunder Rosa, you know, her big ego, thinking she's all that. Um, but now it's like, and then apparently she asked for her release, so
And Malachi Black too.
he's
He got
gone.
granted his release, but conditional release. So he I think they gave him like the 90-day thing, or you can't work for WWE. You can't like if you are released fully, that means you can't work for any other promotions,
Right.
or you can't like go to WWE like which you can't really do. You can't really like be like, oh, sorry, you can't work for somebody else after for 4 years. Like that's not is that legal? No, you're an
It
independent contractor
depends. It
still.
depends.
Like, oh, I'm released. Like, so I'm released. I'm not an employee anymore. I don't have to like. I could follow the 90-day thing or the 180-day
But they
thing,
will
but
still
like
have to
four
pay you
years.
though. They will still have to
Yeah,
pay you though.
and they got money anyway, so they don't. So I don't know. I think the crack started forming a while ago. Just now we're seeing it because everybody's not everybody's granted to release, but like I don't know. I don't think CM Punk's the full blame. I mean, I think I think they never nobody acknowledged or they didn't want to like make a fuss about like their booking. Everybody's like you were a wrestler, right? If you were wrestling for a promotion and then you didn't even have a match for like 6 months, what do you feel about that? And you couldn't work anywhere else. Like how you wouldn't you'll be like, what am I doing here? So
No,
you're this boils over or
well, that's a tough one. But let me first say this first.
Mhm.
Um, if if I heard rumors where it's like, damn, this person hasn't been on TV, I'm gonna ask them, are you getting paid?
Yeah.
Now, so I don't care, but let's just say like or let's just say he is, or I have no way of getting that person's contact to like reach out to them to
Yeah.
ask them that question. But I will tell them in that meeting saying, okay, you want to sign me, that's cool. But there's I want to wrestle every week.
Hmm.
I don't care. I don't have to be on television. I could be in the dark show, pre-show. I need to wrestle every week. If I'm not going to be on TV, I still want to get paid.
Yeah.
So if I don't care if I'm in cater, whatever, I'm still gonna
Catering,
get
yeah.
yeah, I'm still gonna get paid. You know, because it's like you don't have house shows, so it's like where am I gonna wrestle? If I can't wrestle anywhere else, it's like I want to get paid even though I'm not wrestling. Even
Yeah.
if I'm at home, it's like like, hey, we have a television taping, but you don't need me there. Stay home. I still want to get paid for being home.
Yeah.
So at least that way,
Because
because at least that way they're gonna look at you and be like, well, I'm not gonna pay this guy. Well, two things gonna happen. They're gonna be like, you know what? Never mind. We're not gonna give you that kind of contract. Or two, they're gonna be like, well, if that's the case, I'm gonna make sure I use this guy for whatever. Because it's like you don't have to be in the story. Like I don't care. You don't have to put me in the storyline. I don't care if I'm a jobber or something. I go out. I gotta do something. I gotta wrestle because or else what's the point? What's the point of signing a wrestling contract if I'm not gonna wrestle? Now, if you
yeah.
know what I mean, same thing with a referee, because it's like if I'm only doing, I mean, depending how much I get paid, but it's like if I'm only gonna ref one match out of 8 cards or 15 with them, it's like I'm cool with that. But it's the same thing. It's like, damn, you have 15 matches and I'm not gonna be refereeing none of them.
Yeah.
I still want to get paid,
Yeah.
you know?
That's you traveled to like a
Yeah, because
different
it's
city
like,
and all that.
yeah, even if they took care of all of that, it's like I still want to get paid, and I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure people are, because or else why would they not? The only person I want to ask, I wish I could meet him, is Brian Cage. Are you still getting
Mm,
paid from AEW? Because personally, I think he is, because
he
it's like,
should be.
hey, I'm making money from AEW even though I'm not on their show or not being used, and plus the money I'm making on independent shows. Oh, I'm gonna be rich.
Yeah.
But at the same time, is why is he wrestling so much?
Yeah.
You know, is he maybe he's not getting paid? But at the same time, wouldn't he just ask for his release on? Or why would he sign a ring? I don't know if he signed a Ring of Honor contract. But he's gonna be part of the Ring of Honor team.
Yeah, but Tony doesn't fully own Ring of Honor. He doesn't fully own it yet. So
Mm.
it's kind of weird, you know?
Well, before we continue, you want to let the our listeners know about our merch?
Yeah, before we continue, I want you guys to know to check out our Teespring store and Pro Wrestling Tee store. Get your merch. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at New Entry Wrestling Pod. Check us out on Twitter at New Entry Wrestling New Entry WP. Check us out on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and Radio Public. And make sure to check us out on YouTube at please support by subscribing, liking, and sharing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, that's what I would do. That's what I would ask. Because I wouldn't, because it's a contract, man. It's not like a job where it's just like they could lie to you and just be like, okay, that's fine. If you lie to me and I'm not gonna get these things that I'm supposed to get, I'm just gonna quit.
Yeah.
You can't do that in the wrestling world. You can't just be like, I quit, and they're like, yeah, no, you can't. I mean, you could retire, but you can't quit. So,
Hmm.
you know, I don't know. Can you quit?
Yeah, you can. I mean, that's what Tony Storm did when she quit WWE. She like left. I'm not coming back, you know.
Mm.
So
Punk,
I
Punk
think
kind of
Punk
did
too.
that.
Yeah, I kind of did too. The first time, right? Like
Well, no,
WWE.
Punk didn't quit. He was just like, I'm going home.
Yeah, then he got released from
Yeah,
WWE on his at his wedding day.
yeah. Well, they asked him to come back,
Yeah, he's like, no.
but they didn't.
Uh,
So, and then I don't know if he said he didn't or he said, sure, when do you guys want me? And then he like got his release. But we're talking about CM Punk, where it's like this guy, he's not afraid to tell the truth, but at the same time, he kind of overreacts to it because like the whole Coca Cabana thing saying that he shares a bank account with his mom.
that's dirty, bro.
That's like my thing to me is like, okay, if it's true, let's just say if it's true, uh, how you want to say how he wants to be like, I don't want to mention this guy, I don't want to, he did me dirty, but it's like, bro, you just did him dirty as hell,
Yeah,
throwing his business like that. There was no need for you to throw that part.
yeah.
There was no
That's,
need.
you would have been like, okay, like, oh yeah, him. Okay, cool. And then they move on, but no, he kept
He
digging
kept,
into
yeah,
it.
he kept digging it.
I'm like,
And
ah, damn.
it's not a like a bad thing, but it's not a bad thing. Like coach shares a bank account with his mom, whatever, because we don't know their life. We don't know what's the reason to it, you know.
Yeah,
Uh
what if his mom can't do her own expenses? Like we don't know
exactly.
that. We're not
We
gonna
we
be
don't
like,
know. What if he's yeah.
ooh,
What if
yeah,
he's supporting his mom? We don't know the
yeah.
truth. We don't know nothing of that.
Like, if
But
Colt works for AEW, he's probably making good money.
right.
So he's not like we never know. You never know if like
Maybe
you
he
never
is.
know.
Maybe that's the thing. We don't know if Coco Cabana is making good money or if he is or isn't. But point is, there was no need for Punk to throw that. And then what if it was a lie? What'd you why what then why'd you even say that?
Yeah.
And it's funny because it's funny. Oh, and you know what's funny? Coco Cabana, Punk said that two people are making made money out of the name of CM Punk, and that was Vince McMahon and Coco Cabana.
Mm,
But it's funny because isn't Coca Cabana the reason why Pro Wrestling T started?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Because or am I thinking of 1 hour T?
1 hour tea. Yeah. But
So Coca Cabana has nothing to do with Pro Wrestling Tees.
no, I think he just like he does just sponsorships.
I
Like
think he does. I don't think he's like part owner or anything, but I think he
no.
has because every time there's a not I want to I haven't noticed in the past 2 or 3 years, but before Coca Cabana has when Pro Wrestling Tees had a lot of events going on,
Yeah,
there was he will always he was always there.
I get you.
But my thing is yeah, so I do remember oh, was it 2010? I don't remember I possibly or no, it wasn't 11 because the 11 when Punk won the title. So 10 he had a feud with the Big Show
Oh yeah, the
and
mask thing.
Colt Cabana uh reached out to 1 hour wrestling 1 hour tees and asking if they could make a shirt for Punk that said I broke Big Show's hand. And that's
Oh,
how it all started for I think Colt Cabana was like, hey, if you guys could do this shirt for me, blah blah blah, I'll let wrestlers know to come to you guys
nice.
for shirts. And I think that's how pro wrestling tees started.
Now we have a shirt there too, guys. Check it out.
For sure.
Two shirts. We have two shirts so far. So go on their website and search New Entry Wrestling Podcast. Just a little plug. Just no.
So okay, so I just pulled it up right here. So Colt Cabana just helped create he helped created the shirt for Punk. He was promoting let's see, hold on. After Ryan received more orders from Colt Cabana, later Colt offered Ryan a deal for promoting 1 hour teas on Coco Cabana's podcast, The Art of Wrestling. And yeah, so that's how it got started.
Okay. So
So
why? So we're talking about this because like he made money off him?
so no, the reason why I brought this up is that
Ah,
Punk says that Coco Cabana made money out of Punk, but yet CM Punk is selling out at Pro Wrestling Tees.
well,
Who he had they got the reason why it took so long for Punk to come back, he could say whatever he wants about WWE. There's no other places for me to go. It was because he was still selling shirts and Pro Wrestling Tees.
yeah, making bank.
So that being said, who's the reason who was he the reason why he was still making money outside of WWE is because of Coco Cabana.
Mm,
Coco Cabana is the reason why Punk is still selling shirts on Pro Wrestling Tees, but he wants to take shots at Coco Cabana and wants to say Coco Cabana is the reason why he has money is because of Punk's name. If it wasn't for Coco Cabana reaching out to 1 hour tees to make Punk a shirt, and Coco Cabana kept ordering shirts from them, there would be no Pro Wrestling Tees.
wow.
So all these wrestlers who are and podcasters now, is it podcasters or
Yeah,
podcast people?
podcasters. Yeah,
We won't be having shirts on that website. Wrestlers would not be making money out of that website if it wasn't for Coco Cabana.
yeah,
So CM Punk, well, he deserves he needs to apologize Coco Cabana for all that crap. He doesn't have to
yeah,
apologize Kenny Omega, Bunks, and all. I mean, he should.
yeah. You
If he did
sure?
he should. But
He should
if
not be
any
punching people in the face.
that too, but if anybody's gonna apologize anybody, it's Coco Cabana. Coco Cabana is the reason why Punk is rich today.
Damn.
So, because think about it, Punk could have gone if it was all about wrestling and see if he's truly a draw and all that stuff. I don't know why I keep doing this, but my timing is off. It's because my hands disappear sometimes. Because
Yeah,
like you can see this hand, but you can't see this, and that's why I'm like.
yeah. Some
But anyways,
background.
yeah. So anyways, if CM Punk truly believes I am a draw, I could sell on arenas. I could sell 1 million tickets, whatever. He would have gone to Impact Wrestling.
Mm,
He
yeah.
would have gone to Impact Wrestling because at that time they were selling not selling out, but they were in areas where they weren't really selling tickets.
Or New
Uh,
Japan.
or he could have gone to New Japan. So point is, he could have gone somewhere else to see if he's a draw. You know how Chris Jericho knows he's a draw? He went to New Japan. He faced
Yeah.
Kenny Omega. That's how you now CM Punk, Chris Jericho. He is a draw. He proved it.
Mm,
He proved it with Kenny Omega in New Japan Pro Wrestling. And then if he would have gone to Impact Wrestling, I'm pretty sure Impact Wrestling would have been like straight rocket.
yeah.
CM
Yeah.
Punk CM Punk could have done the same thing for Impact Wrestling. He didn't have to wait till AEW. I mean, he could have gone back to Ring of Honor,
Yeah.
but no, he was still making money from Pro Wrestling Tees
Mm.
because of Coke Cabana.
Oh,
Oh, F you, Punk.
wow. Wow. So
anyways,
do you think?
anyways, All Out was good.
Yeah.
4 out of 5
Yes.
show.
Yeah. Yeah. You watched it, right? I just saw your highlights. You sent me. I'm like, okay. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right. So
For
wait.
50 bucks, it was not bad.
Yeah.
All the matches were it was good. It was
Yeah.
good. Don't get me wrong, except for the tag team match. That was great.
Yeah.
Uh Swerve in
In
our
our glory.
glory.
Hmm.
That was a hot match.
Yeah.
It was a great match, great tag team match, great storytelling.
Mhm.
Match of the night. So definitely I'm at the moment, you know, it's definitely my top tens. Everything else it was good.
Yeah.
It was good.
So where do they go from here with Punk? Like what the locker room itself, right? Right now, it's like on fire. Like like now, because they always said there's always talk that like the locker room for AW was like a haven, like it's heaven on earth, for
Right.
wrestlers. But now, if all the rumors are true, obviously we're not like dirt sheet guys. Well, hopefully we never become dirt sheet guys because we actually want to like know the truth and stuff before we say anything.
Right.
But where are we going from here? Like, is there a way to repair the locker room, or you just have to release the people that want to be released, or have to fire people that have to be fired, and then just like
You
restart the
have no
culture?
locker room. They have no locker room leader.
You don't consider Jericho a locker room leader?
I
I'm
don't.
saying like he's a locker room.
He has his own group.
Yeah,
That dude's always in a different group.
yeah.
So he can't help everybody. He can't help everybody.
Or do you think there's too many people working there that like all I mean, eventually like it just comes bust like if you, like I said like earlier, like a guy hasn't wrestled in 6 months on AEW television, he's frustrated. But then he sees a guy that comes in like 2 weeks ago, he's wrestling every week and he has a championship. Like,
Mhm.
don't you think like it wears on people? Like, there's so many people on the roster, and then outside of that, they use. I love indie talent. Obviously, they use them on Dark and they use them on Elevation, but like, why not use the wrestlers you have actually signed to you? I mean, it's good to get exposure to those wrestlers, but at the same time, like, why not use like Kip Sabian more? Why not use Angelico more
I mean,
on Dark?
well, that's true. And Helico, I don't
Like,
understand why they're
I
not
mean,
using that.
if you literally like watch, if you ever see like, I always see like the lineup for a Dark and Elevation, it's people not signing with AEW. It's like you have a signed wrestler and a non-signed wrestler, like wrestle. Like, why not have like, use Dark as like a platform for all those other wrestlers you have
Yeah,
signed?
it's at a point where it's like, dude, you have too many people. We don't know what's going on. Just
Yeah,
use the people that you have.
and then you
And
keep signing people too, like
and
signing.
the fact that you just said it, you on Dark, you have Dark Elevation. So it's like you have all these shows, and yet where's Brian Cage?
Yeah,
You know,
where's
I forgot about Private Party.
yeah, what happened to them?
I haven't seen them or heard of them in a while until they're on the, well, I don't know which is which, but I just found out about they're gonna be on Dark. I don't know if it already happened or, but
Yeah,
I just found out like on Monday they were gonna have a match on Dark, and I was just like, I totally forgot about you guys.
yeah. So I'm like saying like I don't know, like they're hiring too many people. Like, okay, if you're gonna have that many people, use them or get rid of them. I know Tony Khan doesn't want to fire people, but at some point you're making money. They're making obviously they're getting paid. Obviously, you want people to have jobs. We're not saying like fire them, but at the same time, use them at least. And obviously, I do love indie talent. That obviously a lot of the indie talent I've seen on Dark Innovation, they're really good. They're really great wrestlers. I've seen them wrestle live here in Chicagoland area.
Yeah,
I've met some of
it's a
them. I met
bittersweet. Yeah, it's a
yeah. It's like,
bittersweet.
oh, it's great they're on television, but at the same time, you're like, where's their actual contractor wrestlers? Like where's
Yeah.
Kip Sabian? Where's
Well,
it's
he was on he faced Pac uh
for yeah,
for the All Atlantic title.
well, yeah.
But what's
But
his
why? There's no. What happened to the ranking system?
what
How
happened
is he?
to, you know, what's funny is that Pac is that title, he's defending the title out in other indie shows, but
Mhm.
yet he has a whole roster for him to defend the title at AEW.
Yeah,
So it's like, why is your champion still going out in independent shows to defend that title?
it's just I get it just to get exposure, but at the same time, like it's like if I have like
But
groceries
no,
here, right, and I go out
no,
to eat all the
you're
time.
right,
Like, why do I have groceries then? Why just eat
true.
out all the time? Why
Well,
buy
for
groceries every week? You know?
I mean, yeah, that's true. I mean, but if you, I mean, it's one thing for that one day because it's like
Yeah.
I was out all day. The last thing,
Mhm.
and bought all these groceries. The last thing I want to do is cook. That's fine. I understand that. But my thing, you just said it earlier.
Yeah.
You have this platform. You're instead of putting the guys who are under contract to that show, you're getting independent people to you're getting independent to come to the show so they can have their 15 minutes of fame. And again, cool. I,
Well,
that's awesome. But then it's like, wait a minute, you got Pac going to other indie shows to defend the title. Why? why not just have him on the dark and bring independent? Oh, I hit my mic. Bring independent people into, you know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense. You're having
Yeah.
him go to other indies instead of having the indie come to him.
Mm.
Because it's like I feel like I don't know who's paying who, but I'm pretty sure it's more expensive for Pac. Is it Pac or Pac?
Pac.
Pac, right? It's expensive for him. Obviously, he's getting paid, so he doesn't care. But point is,
Yeah.
it's expensive. I'm pretty sure it's expensive for him to go travel when you could just be like, "Hey, you, can you come over here? You independent wrestler, can you come over here?" Or
No,
we,
but then
you
you
know what I
want the
mean?
indie promotion to have some people. You want some people to come to their shows too. So like, oh, we got Pac from AEW. We got some guy from
But
AAA, some guy from New Japan. You
but
want
the
them to come to the show.
but he's the AEW champion.
Yeah. Or
Doesn't
all
matter. It
yeah,
doesn't matter the
yeah,
title. He's still
yeah.
your AEW champion. Now he's your trio champion, and he's your first ever
Double champion.
double champion. And
Two champs, two
you
champs,
know,
two
and
belts.
so two belt, two belt Pac. But I
So,
don't know. Tony
so
Khan is just weird. I mean, he's cool and all that, but it's just that dude just does not know how to, you know, he doesn't know how to run that company.
I mean, it's impressive how far they made it so far, but at the same time, like, how
Well,
far can you
because of
go?
the talent, because of the
Yeah,
talent,
yeah.
you know.
We're not saying like the wrestlers are bad, just saying like how it's managed. It's kind of like, uh, I
Yeah.
love. I mean, a lot of the. I mean, I love a lot of the wrestlers. I mean, I wouldn't, but I can't watch a full AEW show. I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be able to go to a show. Like, I wouldn't enjoy it as much. But I love the wrestlers, which is crazy. I could.
When you go watch it live, it's different though. It's
It is.
different.
Oh, okay.
It's better. Like I told you about Impact Wrestling.
Yeah,
When you go
Impact.
watch, yeah, when you go watch it live, it's better for
Yeah,
some reason.
I don't know the production or something or the way they present it.
Yeah, it's just how their camera work and all that. And in the commentary, you got like five people talking. And I
Yeah.
think oh my god, the guy from East from WCW, Tony,
Tony Schiavone.
he kept
Schiavone.
he was talking to Taz and he kept getting confused on who he was talking to. He thought it was what's his name? Excalibur?
Excalibur.
Excalibur?
Yeah. Yeah.
He thought that's Tony thought he was talking to him, but it turned out he was talking to Taz. That was
Uh,
going on all night and all out.
wow.
And Taz thought it was funny because he was just like, dude, why you keep forgetting who you talking to?
Just
He's
put
like,
it on mute.
yeah, he's like, there's too many people talking right now. He's like,
Yeah.
he's getting confused on who's who.
So
But
yeah. So back to my question, like, okay, so what do you think is gonna happen with the wrestlers that got suspended, and what is gonna happen to people that allegedly want out, but we're not confirming? Well, Malachi Black, everybody's been saying he granted his release. Thunder Rosa, they say that she didn't actually grant a release, but she will think some people say it's like we don't know the
she asked
true
for,
like
yeah, there's rumors saying that she did for sure. She asked for her release. Um, it's
was
the
denied.
whole, was it denied or was it true is the problem that people don't
Why?
know yet.
And then what do we do with like Christopher Daniels? Do you just suspend him? What do you do with
I don't know
Pat
why.
Buck? What do you do?
I don't know why they got suspended in the first place.
Yeah, me
So
neither. They never explained that. And then on Dynamite, well, see, I don't really watch it, but I watched the intro of the Dynamite. Tony Khan didn't even say why they got vacated. So if you, let's say like, I don't watch it, right? Let's say I watch it for first time on Dynamite, and I see like, oh, I know coming into the watching the show that CM Punk is the champion, and Kenny Omega Trios champion. Let's say my first time, like I knew that they won the titles at All Out. Like, oh, so I'm a friend, I'm a person who never watched wrestling. And
right.
oh, I want to check it out. I like CM Punk. I seen him in WWE 10 years ago when I was a fan. And then you watch Dynamite, and the intro shows Tony Khan saying the AEW World Championship has been vacated. So CM Punk, the champion, no longer the champion, and the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, which you heard about because you watched the Indies back 10 years ago, but
Mhm.
you're finally watching that. You watched Dynamite for the first time. There's no explanation why. Like he just said, like, okay, guys, we're vacating the championships. It's gonna be a tournament for the world championship, and then tonight we're gonna have the best friends versus no, is it the best friends?
Yeah,
Best
best
friends
friends.
versus the death triangle for the trios championship. So I'm like, what happened?
Right.
Like obviously I would have to be like, oh, let me research this, but like, why was there no actually? like are they gonna follow up with a storyline? They could do a storyline like how they did MJF. Well, MJF they never did a storyline either. They kind of say like,
He
I
just
don't leave
came
this
back.
company.
Yeah,
He just
he
came back
you
like, what happened? Like, is he actually got like they didn't Tony didn't like make a storyline
well
out of
they
that.
well the thing is they did a video the voicemail recording.
Yeah.
They played it and Tony Khan basically told him, I'm giving you a spot at the casino ladder match, and also I'm gonna pay you this amount of money. I'm
Oh,
not extending your contract or any of that.
wow.
But yeah, so basically, I guess in a way, everything's back to normal.
Allegedly.
Um,
So far.
but yeah, so far, with MJF, and but no, I think personally, me personally, I think Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, should quit.
Mm.
I think they should quit. I don't think they should get fired or anything. I don't think they should be punished for anything. They should make the decision to leave and quit.
Where they go to
Uh
New Japan, or did it's the if they say New Japan, if we go to you can't work for the AEW anymore, kind of thing,
uh
or they go to WWE, join Cody.
they could go to WWE. They
The
could go
Young
to
Bucks,
Impact.
but the Young Bucks have talked too much smack about WWE. I don't think they would want him. Oh, you never know. Triple H would be like,
No,
you know
they
what?
were
Come
no,
over.
they didn't no, they because they were gonna sign with NXT.
Oh,
So they were gonna sign with NXT. But then Cody Rhodes reached out to the Young Bucks about Tony. So
okay.
they were like, "Oh, we'll give that a shot."
So
So, um, but yeah, Kenny Omega, Young Bucks, I think they should make the decision to quit.
yeah, because they never
Uh,
said how long they're suspended for, right?
no,
They didn't even like because it was a couple weeks. Why drop the trios title, right? So it has to be like probably I heard 6 to 9, 8 months too for suspensions.
no,
That's what I heard.
I haven't even heard anything for
Yeah.
Christopher
Okay.
Daniels or anything like
Yeah.
that.
Like how long? Yeah, because at least suspended. Yeah, like
Ace
Adam Page.
Steel, I think Ace Steel should have been fired. I
Yeah.
think Punk should have been fired.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones who started everything. And better
I don't know.
yet,
That's I heard that.
Tony Khan didn't even do anything. He didn't even address anything about it.
Wow.
You know,
So because I know like what about Brandon Cutler, Michael Nakazawa, Pat Buck? Like you say, we don't know why they got suspended,
yeah, the only
but
two out of everybody, I think everybody should say I'm quitting. I'm leaving the
mhm,
company. Punk and H Steel are the two that should be fired.
yeah.
They should hear the words "you're fired."
But
Everybody else should make the decision to be like, I'm quitting.
yeah. But you
But
think because Tony doesn't have the gall, he doesn't have the moxie to like do it, or you think he just like, I want him back, but at the same time, like, does the locker room want him back? Like,
no,
you don't want.
nobody wants him there. Nobody wants some Punk there.
So they just suspend it. They're gonna suspend him and say, okay, give it 6 months. It'll cool off. Like, I don't think it will.
No, it's
N-
not gonna cool off. And then plus, and then Tony Khan has to look at it in a business way. It's like, dude, this dude is your two-time world champion and had zero title defense.
And
When
he ended up in a fight with someone, do
he
shoots.
had in a fight with your EVP,
Yeah, two
like
AVPs, three AVPs, all three of
three.
them.
And the rumor has it, if it's true, he Punk threw the first punch
Oh wow,
at Matt.
wow,
So he should have. If that alone is true,
yeah.
Punk should be fired for that.
And shouldn't Ace still be arrested because he literally like he threw a chair at
He
one of the
Kenny
Jackson and bit Kenny Omega.
right.
So isn't that like assault already? I know it's like wrestling world, but you can still get charged for assault.
Tony Khan got uh
Investigation started.
yeah a private, right,
Yeah,
private one. So we're gonna find out more, and we're gonna find out the truth later on.
because honestly, if I was a wrestler and I got punched by another wrestler, I don't think I'll come back. Like, oh, you're such a wimp. Like, well, I don't want to be like at my work all like any job. Like, let's say our jobs, right? We work full time. If I
Right.
go to work on Monday, let's say, or Tuesday, whatever, a work day, and then some coworker doesn't like punch me right in the face or throws a chair at me, how likely would I want to come back to that job? Oh yeah, we moved him in a different department. He's suspended or he's fired. Like, would I want to come back to like, okay, so there's something at this atmosphere, this culture that allowed that to happen. Like if it wasn't as tension in the locker room or whatever,
Right.
or an office, I mean, it would never have happened. But so what's the guarantee it's not gonna happen again? Somebody else gets mad at me and I get
Well, to be
you get
fair,
thrown at me.
it depends because it's like, did everything change as soon as he came along? If that's the answer, then I would say, okay, well, once he leave, I'll see how the atmosphere is.
Yeah.
If it still
But
feels the same, I would
yeah.
leave.
But
But
it's
if
still
it's
tension between like Brett Baker and Thunder Rosa. There's tension between Thunder Rosa and some of the women
but
that
that's
she
just
sandbagged
under
them.
no,
Like,
that's just
no,
under Rosa.
yeah. What about Ace Steel? How he's gonna come back after that? Oh yeah,
I didn't
I'm
even know he was employed. I
Ace
heard of
Steel.
Ace Steel. I heard of Ace Steel. I seen a couple of his matches a long time ago. I didn't even knew he was part of AEW.
Like, how do you come back from that? Like, how do you come back? Like, oh yeah, I hit the one of the EVPs with a chair and I bit the other one. Like, how do you come back to work in, let's say, 6 months or whatever? If he comes back to work, how do you come back to the
Right.
off to work with that? Like, oh well, aren't you the guy that punched your coworker in the face?
Yeah,
You
I
know,
have no idea. But no, that's
it's
not his coworker.
that's his boss.
That's basically their boss.
Yeah,
That's how
who
I
comes
don't
back from
understand.
that? Like,
Yeah,
I don't
how do
know.
you come back from that?
Like, if I punch my boss in the face, I'm not coming back to work. They're like, sorry, get the hell out. You know,
It's
just get your
wrestlers versus wrestlers. They
yeah,
fought back. Imagine Punk. Punk doesn't care about Vince McMahon.
no, but he wouldn't punch him.
You, you don't know that.
No, because
Punk punched a fan
oh
once.
yeah, in the back of the head like this or something.
Yeah, because he punched the wrong person.
Yeah.
Punk doesn't care.
The thing is, I think like they don't. I think I come off as that like all the wrestlers know that Tony is a mark. I don't like using that word, but
Fuck
he'll
that.
play a
I'm a
lot.
mark too.
Yeah, right. But I'm saying like if CM Punk was doing that with X Man there, Mr. He would have not. Mr. Man would be like, hey, shut up, you know. But Tony's like just like you see his face the whole time.
But hold on. But Vince McMahon, you don't want to hear it from Vince McMahon though.
No, he'll tell
You'll
you.
hear it from five different people. If you hear it from Vince McMahon, you fucked up.
Yeah, well, yeah, swear. but but yeah, but yeah. So I'm like, there's no respect for Tony as much. They like that. Oh, I'm glad he got me a job. It's something different. At the same time, I think he even shushed. I think CM Punk shushed him or something, or like no disrespect, Tony. But I don't know. He kind of like disrespected Tony right in the press conference thing.
The only thing I could recall
Yeah,
is the was
why he hired the EVPs if they're competent or something like that.
when he mentioned about the EVPs about spreading rumors,
Yeah,
and also the fact that he said that I don't think you're there yet before when he mentioned about Punk making money out of Punk's name.
yeah,
So he's like, "Oh, I don't think you're quite there yet." But the two people who made money out of my name was Vince McMahon and Cole Cabana, and
yeah.
I was just like,
Wow.
um, it's funny as hell because it's like, why would you even say that when this guy said that you broke records last
Yeah,
year, and then you're just gonna tell him like, yeah, I don't think you're quite there making
yeah.
money, and it's just like, like what? He's telling
Yeah.
everybody good things about you and why he's glad he signed you, and then you're just kind of that's the only thing I could
Yeah,
recall.
so there's not a lot of there's not respect for Tony, I think. They love the fact that they
Because
that he's
you're a mark. They don't care. Wrestlers, that's all they see in you.
yeah, they're like, "Oh yeah, he's gonna agree to that. I could talk to him any way he wants. He's not gonna fire me."
Yeah.
He doesn't really fire anybody, only if they had like allegations against them or they like didn't or but then he talks smack about I don't know. He's only fired a few people, I think. Only like a few people.
But this is
Like
the person Tony Khan released somebody. I forgot who he released, and he said that I released her because I felt like she wasn't good enough.
a big swole. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, there you go. Is that
But
her
that's
real?
like one
Is that
person.
her name, or is that her like a nickname?
That's her like wrestling name.
That's her gimmick name, Big Swole.
Yeah.
Okay, I
Yeah, I don't
wasn't
know
quite
her name.
sure.
She's married to Cedric Alexander.
Oh, for us? Oh, nice.
Yeah. But yeah, you know what I mean? Like so I'm thinking like once like you said, once you're a mark, like if you're a mark,
That's
they're
all they
gonna
see you.
like you know what? I could just do whatever I want. I could just tell them, "Oh, sorry, Tony, sorry, bro. I'll figure it out next time." Next thing you know, they're like, "I don't care. This guy just give me my money. Just pay
Right.
me. I'll show up on Dynamite, I'll show up on Rampage, whatever. But just pay me." And at that point, like once you if the locker room doesn't have a respect of you, like say even if I had a job, right? Or I'm a boss at a company. If your employees don't have respect for you, it's a lost cause. Like, at what point do you just be like, okay, they're just gonna like talk smack behind me. They're gonna just gonna like, if I, you know what I mean? Like, what can you know what I mean? Like anything. It's like
No, I
it's
think the
wrestling, but still a job. It's still a corporation. It's still a company. You know.
I think the only way Tony Khan could get out of this and fix it is turning Rampage into a 2 hour show
Or Ring of Honor.
or Ring of Honor.
We talking about
Well,
that? Yeah.
Rampage could be
Ring of
Rampage.
Honor, Rampage.
Yeah, it could be Ring of Honor could be Rampage's television show.
Yeah.
So but I think they need to do a brand split.
That's what
That
we talked. We did that
yeah,
episode. You guys should check it out. I forgot
that's
what episode it was, but you guys should check it out.
they gotta do
We're doing a plug.
that's the only way it'll work. Doing a brand split. Other than that, it's like you need to drop it because it's at a point where it's like, dude, you have too many people. You announce like 10 different things that's gonna happen on a 2 hour show. You announce 8 different things that's gonna happen in a 1 hour show. You announce 6 to 8 things. No, like 8, 10 to 15 things on a YouTube show. So it's just like, dude, I don't even know. Like at this point, it's like, damn, WWE doesn't even do all that, and they
Yeah.
could. I mean, they done it before because they had Superstar, they had Main Event, they had a show on Hulu, so they have done.
Saturday Morning Slam. They have all these other
Yeah,
shows too.
Sunday Night Heat. So they had all those shows. They did have more than 2 other shows, like 1 hour shows, but majority of them you would see, jobbers or in locals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But at least there was times where you would get the people who are actually a roster on the show
Hmm.
and get to see them and stuff. Or another thing, start doing live events.
Yeah. Put those people on TV and stuff
Yeah,
more.
because it's like, what's the point of having a show, a company, and if you're gonna have nothing, maybe the first year or two, I would give them the freedom to go wrestle somewhere else
Mm.
until but after the 3 or 4 years, I'll be like, okay, you could work less days because we're gonna have
Yeah.
more shows or we're gonna start doing live shows. And then after the 5 year mark, it's like, okay, you guys can't. You have no reason to wrestle somewhere else.
Exclusive now. You're
Yeah,
exclusive to us
because it's like we got 2 shows, we got live events, we got pay-per-views, so you're gonna be used
more often. Yeah.
more. So, but who knows, man? For all we know, AEW may close the door in like 3 years, or
Who
maybe
knows?
they'll still be around after that.
To be like Impact, just be around for 20 years. You know.
I
You never
think they're.
know.
I think. I really think they're most. If I don't think AEW will close, I think they're just gonna be rebrand, just like TNA.
Mm. Oh well.
But that's what hurt.
They might lose their TV deal. Who knows?
Yeah, not really. I don't
Well,
think
except
so.
well,
Well,
Time
they
Warner
if they
Discovery is like, you know what? It seems kind of like I don't know. You guys, you know what I mean? Like if you're a TV company or TV corporation, like wait, this is happening in your company? Like I don't know. You know, we're kind of
Discovery is already told them to stop
blood and
no, not the blood,
language.
the language use less language.
Yeah.
So it's
Oh,
like once in a while it's fine, but when you hear it throughout the whole episode, it's just like, geez, what am I
like
watching?
guys, relax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
funny because they'll be like, "Oh, I effing hate you. I'm gonna kill you next week," and it's like they'll wrestle, and it's like, I thought you were gonna hurt this guy. I thought you were gonna kill this guy. You guys just have a regular wrestling match,
Yeah.
or they do end up almost killing each other in that match, and it's like, and then the feud continues, and it's just like, what was the whole purpose of that? So I don't know. I don't get
Mm.
it.
Yeah.
But anyways, anything else we got to chat before we head out? Oh, we got future episodes, right?
Yeah. Um. Yeah. So I don't know. You want? Yeah, we got future episodes coming out. Obviously, we're gonna talk about eventually Bound for Glory. We're gonna talk about
Haven't talked about
Extreme
TNA
Rules.
and TNA
Yeah,
wrestling in a while.
we're
Impact Wrestling.
we'll talk about the pay-per-views coming up, like like you said, Bound
Fan-
for
yeah, fantasy booking
Bound for
for Bound for Glory, fantasy booking for Extreme Rules, and then we do have a interview that will probably be coming out
soon. Yeah,
soon to either this coming Wednesday or the following Wednesday. Not 100% sure, but yeah, 3 future episodes to look out
yeah,
for sure,
and
maybe more.
yeah, and check out our Clash the Castle. Was that the post aftermath on YouTube?
Oh yeah, we
Uh,
hit over 1K.
yeah, 1K. Yeah, you first time we hit a
First
thousand.
time. It was
So
that video was a first time for everything. It was our first 600. It was our first 700, 800, 900, first 1K. Now at this moment we are at 16K, man. So that's
nice.
something to be excited about.
Yeah, we'll
So
celebrate, especially with our 2 year anniversary coming up in October. So we gotta do an
the
ep.
new
We got
Entry Wrestling podcast is gonna be 2 years. Damn, dude, it's gonna be 2 years.
yeah.
That's crazy.
October 24th was our first episode.
But
So
we started YouTube in November of last year, so that's gonna
yeah,
be so November is gonna be our 1 year anniversary.
for
Oh,
YouTube. Yeah.
yeah. So and this video is only gonna get 5 views. So woo, yeah.
Yeah.
I hit as soon as I saw that 1K, bro. I'm like, man, the next video is gonna bomb. I was like, I'm gonna be so sad. I'm like, we're gonna get 5 views, and it's gonna be like, I'm like, nah, man. I was like, I was happy. Don't get me wrong, I was
Oh
happy.
yeah, me too. I was like, I was at work. I'm like, what
I saw
the?
that 1K. I was happy, but I was just like, man, the next video is gonna suck.
No,
It's gonna
let's
suck.
not speak that to existence.
No.
All right. Yeah, we
But
should probably wrap it up here.
always wrap it up.
So before we leave, guys, make sure to check out on teespring.com. Check us out on Pro Wrestling Tees for cool merch, helps with our microphones and all that stuff. Love your support. Check us out on Instagram and TikTok at New Entry Wrestling Pod. Check us out on Twitter at New Entry WP. Check us out on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Radio Public. And if you haven't already, like I said, check out our YouTube channel at New Entry Wrestling Podcast. Help support by liking, subscribing, and sharing. And
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
all right, listeners, this will be it for this episode. I'm Ever, and this is Ian.
We are out, right? That's what I
Yeah,
said.
we are
Okay,
out.
we are out.
Bye, guys.
Doo doo doo.
Yay!